Starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty and gracious to all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and welcome to the class of Business Research Methods. Students, today we are going to start the 19th lecture of the course, and here our concern is statistics and terminologies. Dear students, already we have discussed these concepts in descriptive statistics as well as in inferential statistics, but these are the part of business research method, so therefore we are going to discuss again some important terminologies of statistics, is it, and inferential statistics as well. Here the lecture number 19 and the upcoming lectures that will be relevant to the statistics, the statistical terminologies, but here we only will discuss the theoretical approach there and terminologies. In this lecture we will discuss the statistics, that what is statistics, and we will discuss the different types of statistics, majorly descriptive stats as well as inferential stats, and then we will discuss some statistical terminologies like what is sample, what is population, what is sample size, what is population size, what is parameter, and what is statistic. So students, now let's start from the first, that what is statistics. So there are different definitions of statistics. Statistics according to this definition, there are so many definitions of statistics, but according to this definition, that what the statistics is, the word statistics basically derived from a Latin word status, which means useful information to the state or a country. Like for example, size of a population, size of armed forces, number of children born during the year, etc. Actually, it's a Latin word meaning a political state, or this word statistics refers a numerical facts where systematically arranged. In this sense, the word statistics used like statistics of price, statistics of road accident, statistics of crimes, statistics of birth, or statistics of educational institutes, etc. So in this sense we can simply say statistics is the set of numerical facts in respective fields. Now we will move to the next slide, where we have explained the areas of statistics. Areas of statistics simply means the branches of statistics, the types of statistics. There are so many types of statistics, but regarding to your course we are going to study only two types of statistics. One is known as descriptive statistics and another is known as inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics. What is descriptive statistics? Descriptive, the word basically derived from the word description. It means describe something. That statistics or a science or methodology which basically describe some numerical facts regarding to their characteristics. Therefore, the definition simply explains that descriptive statistics deals with the procedures used to summarize the information contained in a set of measurements. Or in the simple words, we can say descriptive statistics is a science of collecting, organizing, presenting, analyzing and interpreting numerical facts to assist in making more effective decisions. Descriptive statistics are statistical methods, procedures, terminologies that summarize, organize and simplify the data. Simply stated, for example, let's suppose if we ask from 8 students which have subject statistics, do you like statistics? The answer of 6 students is yes. This is simply stated as descriptive statistics. That science which basically describe the overall phenomena regarding to their interest of the researcher. Such methodology, such is known as your descriptive statistics. That statistics which describe the things in a numerical facts. After that we have another type which is known as inferential statistics. Look at here, the word inferential. this word inferential. Now the word inferential basically it means simply making some conclusions, draw some conclusions, do a conclusion, make a result for the population data, simply stated parameter, on the basis of the sample study. That statistic which do analysis for the population data on the basis of the sample study data, or in other words we can simply say a statistic where we study the statistic. Upon the statistic we make a rough conclusion for the population parameters. Such methodology, such science is known as inferential statistics. Now according to this definition, inferential statistics deals with procedures, methods used to make inferences. Inferences mean predictions, conclusions, results about a population parameter from information contained in a sample. In other words, we can say that inferential statistics are the techniques, methods that allow us to study samples and then make generalizations about the populations from which they are selected. For example, if we ask from 8 students which have one subject, statistics, do you like statistics? The answer of the 6 students is yes. This is called descriptive stats. And if we generalize the results that more students of this college or class like statistics, is called simply inferential statistics on the basis of this sample of 6 students. Such statistics that where we study the sample data and we generalize this result for the population or for the parameter data, simply such methodology, such statistics is known as your inferential statistics. Look at the next slide. Dear students, I have explained this concept with the help of this example. It is basically relevant to your inferential statistics. If you concentrate, look at here. If you concentrate this whole, suppose that graphically, picture wise, it is simply known as your whole population, and population simply means the totality. Now these are the small parts which we are taken from your population data. When we study these small samples and overall when we make a conclusion upon these samples to the population data, such inferences about the large group or large population is simply known as your inferential statistics. Hope the idea will be clear right now. Now we will move to the next heading, which is known as the next slide, sorry, which is known as, where is the slide? Here it is. Let me check why it is not working. Okay. Now we move to the next slide. There are some important terminologies. Terminologies simply means some terms. لغات چې موږ ورته وایو هغه لغات چې هغه ډېر زیات مهمه دي statistics کې. already دا ټول لغاتونه ما descriptive statistics کې تاسو له clear کړي دي، لیکن before starting the inferential statistics part, I would like to give you a slight touch about the descriptive statistics terminologies as well. Later on we have to use these terminologies again in our numerical questions, so therefore I'm going to repeat these terminologies again. First of all, we are going to discuss the first part, which is known as your population. اول چې د لګي population explain کول غواړم چې population څه دی. ګوره simply stated population څه دی؟ population totality ده. all values, all aggregated data, the totality, the total of observations. Observation simply means values. هغه سیس چې کوم تاسو study کول غواړئ as a whole is simply known as your population. یاد ساتئ ټوله data چې کوم as a, for example تاسو study کول غواړئ, that is called population. Whatever the members are included in your population, that is known as your population size. او یاد ساتئ population size همیشه capital N سره represent کیږي. Don't forget this thing. Capital N. capital N always shows the size of the population, and size of the population simply stated that how many members or how many elements are there in your total aggregated values or data. The total is aggregated value is simply known as your population. نور موږ explain کولی شو different طریقو سره دا ټول نه اسانه definition ده د population چې what the population is. نور موږ داسې ویلی شو چې population is a set of all individuals of interest in a particular study. A large mass of data is simply known as your population. Different definition थी लेकिन concept ټول یو دی چې population څه دی. population all aggregated total values simply is known as your population. هر یو member چې کوم population کې دی that is simply known as your element. Then we have the next terminology, sample. What is sample? The values taken from the whole values, aggregated values. Such small pieces are known as sample. So then da zahirigi che sample se sample is a part of population. These small parts which are taken from the population is simply known as sample. So sample is a part or portion or subset of your population. Like suppose tasu ta wayma che I have a bag of rice. Say the whole bag is full of rice, no da masara population de. And when I'm taking a hand of rice, زدا سو کما چې یو موټ چې دی دغه راواله ما برنج راواله ما صرف چیک کولو لپاره کوالټي نو دا یو موټ چې کوم راخسته دی ون ا سنگل هاند اف صحیح شو بچي that is simply known as sample. اوس یاد ساتئ sample size دا همیشه small n سره represent کیږي. Small n shows the sample size. अब what does it mean sample size? Sample size mean that how many members are there in your sample. याद ساتئ چې کله هم سامپل کې څوره هم ممبرز دي هغه ته موږ سبجیکټ وایو یا آبجیکټ وایو او چې پاپولیشن کې څوره یې بچي هغه ته موږ څه وایو هغه ته موږ الیمنٹ وایو صحیح یا ممبرز وایو. hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. That was population and sample. Now let's move to the next slide the below show. That is about sampling. What is sampling? Very simple. Already we have discussed. Sampling, see the bache, sampling, the process that where we select the samples from the aggregate. This process of selecting the samples from the aggregate population, such method is known as your sampling. Later on, inshallah, we will discuss the different types of sampling, like probability sampling, non-probability sampling. راتون کې لیکچر کې به ان شاء الله تاسو نورم دا ډیټیل کې کلیر کوم لیکن دا ډومبنه لیکچر دی نو د کې صرف اول ټرمینالوجي تاسو له کلیر کول غواړم چې د مقصد څه دی مطلب څه دی. So the process of selecting samples out of the population data is simply known as your sampling. Now we will move to the next terminology, which is population parameter and sample statistics. देखिए اوله خبره چې کومه ډیره زیاته مهمه ده اب زه تاسو له اوله کلیر کما چې وګورئ دا یاد ساتي همیشه د خپل کلاس کې دا خبره حتما کومه چې ګوره پاپولیشن پی نه سٹارټ کیږي او پیرامیټر هم پی نه سٹارټ کیږي نو یاد ساتئ چې پیرامیټر کنیکټډ دی تاسو پاپولیشن سره بس صرف دا یاد ساتئ چې پی او پی they are connected. بیا چې موږ کله خبره کوو when we are talking about the sample starts with S and statistics also starts with S. So یاد ساتئ چې statistics connection لري تاسو sample سره نو دینه ان شاء الله تاسو نه هیریږي نه. It means that parameter having a connection with population and statistic clear having a connection with sample. اوس زموږ مین هدف څه دی چې parameter څه دی او تاسو statistics څه دی. Now let's start چې دا لږ وګورو چې دا دي څه چې دنه ولګ idea والو. Let's start from the first اولنی چې کوم دی دا دی parameter. اول به دا لري کوم چې دا کلیر شي مکمل. ها what is parameter؟ ګوره parameter start کیږي پی نه صحیح شو نو already ما تاسو ته وایي چې ګوره پی نه start کیږي نو it means the connection سره دی connection population سره دی. According to this definition, those numerical quantities which are calculated from population data is called parameter. نو ساده الفاظ کې هغه هر یو فارمولا چې کوم مونږه overall population data د لپاره استفاده کوو that is simply known as your parameter. Suppose I have a Salam. Say Masara Salam University da, and Salam University contains suppose 1000 the elements. Say Salam suppose total chede 1000 the gallery size lari sample size lari. That is suppose 1000. Sorry, देखिए clear नहीं की अब यहाँ हम तो कोशिश कोमा ठीक हुआ 1000 उस पछे ज़ित आसो तवाय मां चिदा 1000 कम स्टूडेंटान दी दी तासो एवरेज हाइट मालूम कई उस दे पारा च कम तासो एवरेज फार्मूला इस्तेफादा कोई एवरेज that average which basically we are using to calculate as an aggregated data to calculate the interest the delta height de. Now that formula, this average, is simply known as taso parameter. Zaka master se shuru kyun hai parameter p, it has a connection with the population data. Hope inshallah idea will be clear. Now we will move to the next statistic. Gura shuru ke तीन स्लाइड की माता आपसे छुए कि पूरा स्टैटिस्टिक्स एस ने स्टार्ट की और स्टैटिस्टिक्स कंसर्न दे सैंपल सरा. नो इट मींस कि स्टैटिस्टिक्स दोज न्यूमेरिकल क्वांटिटीज व्हिच आर कैलकुलेटेड फ्रॉम सैंपल डेटा इज कॉल्ड स्टैटिस्टिक. या स्टैटिस्टिक इज अ वैल्यू व्हिच डिस्क्राइब्स अ सैंपल डेटा. कन्नो सादा अल्फाज की तशरीह कमा सपोज दादी टोटल पॉपुलेशन की मासरा 1000 स्टूडेंट आन जितना सुतवायमा कि 1000 स्टूडेंटान के मां सिर्फ और सिर्फ चिते लेट्स सपोज 150 स्टूडेंटान चिकम दे आगा बचे एज अ सिलेक्टेड एज अ सैंपल और तासो टोलो द पता चिदा सैंपल शो उस तासो तवायमा चिदा 150 चिदा तासो एज अ सैंपल स्टूडेंटान सिलेक्ट करी दी. नाउ दी दुई एवरेज हाइट मालूम कई. नाउ यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट फाइंड आउट एवरेज हाइट ऑफ दोज 150 स्टूडेंट्स. नाउ 150 students height, this average, the formula which you are going to use to calculate these 150 students height, such formula, such average is known as statistic. Hope idea will be clear inshallah. Next we are moving to the next slide. This slide के main idea से this slide के main idea the types of variables. Already we have discussed these things, what the variables are. Different slides के बच्चे दे हम आवर करी दी दता सो खपला भी स्टडी हो कई कंटिन्यूअस वेरिएबल्स से वही दता सोला जर्नल यो आइडिया दर कोमा इट विल मेक योर आइडिया इंशाल्लाह फुल क्लियर. दो दी स्लाइड ना मुकम्मल तासोला क्लियर कमा चदा वही से और बच्चे व्हाट इज वेरिएबल थोड़ा तो पता था जो व्हाट इज वेरिएबल से तो वही वेरिएबल मींस सर युद्धा से सिंबल दे सादा अल्फाज के. अ वेरिएबल इज अ सिंबल सच एज xyz which can assume any of a prescribed set of values. Like for example, the number of students in a class, weekly wages, etc. are all the examples of your variable. A measurable quantity which vary from one value to another value. मतलब वेरिएबल से वेरिएबल मुसरा युद्धा से वैल्यू दा युद्धा से क्वांटिटी दा चे आगे वैल्यूज वरी की मतलब जनरली मैथमेटिक्स की मुझे एक्स वाई जेड से डिनोट को ठीक हुआ और नूर चे दे स्टैटिस्टिक्स के चे दे हैव द स्पेसिफाइड नेम. उस नाउ वी हैव टाइप्स ऑफ वेरिएबल्स. दा ऑलरेडी डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टेट्स की माता सुला क्लियर करी हम दी मुझका दलता देता सुला दा खातिर को मगूरा टू टाइप्स ऑफ वेरिएबल्स यो दे क्वांटिटेटिव वेरिएबल्स और बल देस्ता सुसरा क्वालिटेटिव वेरिएबल्स. ऑलरेडी स्लाइड्स के में दखा वर्क करे दे एक्सप्लेनेशन वर्क करे दे. आई हैव मेंशन्ड द एक्सप्लेनेशन इन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड्स. यू कैन डेफिनेटली स्टडी फ्रॉम दोस स्लाइड्स. हियर इन दिस स्लाइड आई वुड लाइक टू गिव यू द मेन आइडिया अबाउट द क्वांटिटेटिव एंड क्वालिटेटिव वेरिएबल. इफ यू नोटिस वन थिंग, quantitative, quantity, here in the quantitative the word quantity is hidden. It means something which we can quantify. So quantitative variables are those variables which can be quantified, which we can definitely find out in terms of numbers. Those variables which we can calculate, which we can write down in the form of numbers, is simply known as your quantitative variable. On the other hand, we have qualitative. Look at here, quality. The variables which we cannot express in the number terms or which we can express clear in the quality terms is known as your qualitative variables. उस बच्चे गोरा quantitative variable like for example height. जो वेले शो मकना चीज़ हमारा height चले 5 feet 9 inches थे. No, height is equal to 5 feet 9 inches. No, 5 feet 9 inches, 5.9. It is a quantitative. when I'm assigning this 5.9 a numeric term to height, that is simply known as quantitative. When we are talking about qualitative or quality, our friendship is 2 kg. Is it appropriate? No, it's not appropriate. It means color, feelings, satisfaction, that tools is responsiveness, say the loyalty, motivation, that tools qualitative variables. After that, look at here, quantitative variable that is divided into 2 subcategories. Yaw tamunga discrete variables, bal tamunga continuous variables. Sadal fas ki tashrik ho bache discrete se tawai. Pura discrete a quantitative variable tawai where a variable is taken a complete digit, a full digit, without any decimal. Like suppose tasu dawai ma bache tasu bag ke total 100 books prati di. No tasu ba hatman mata da wi kana che sarchi zamung bag ke total 3 books di ya salur books di. Tasu da se nishi wile che sarchi zama bag ke 4.5 books di. No 4.5 books, is it valid? No, it's not valid. No kala hum books is equal to books chede, no books chede, books tasu sara complete your digit afli. Now that is known as your discrete quantitative. A variable which is taken always a complete digit without fraction is known as discrete variable. Next is continuous variable. By the name it is clear, continuous. So you should jumped data. A variable हमेशा चे फ्रैक्शन के बटा के पॉइंट्स के साथ सुना वैल्यू आखली लगा ज़िता सुता हुआ है माँ ज़मा एज दे 31.5 मतलब 31 years completed the of पिंदम म्याश तरवाना दा. I have completed my 31 years and I am in my fifth month of the next year. सही हुआ. So it means 31.5 that is a continuous fraction. So therefore such is known as your continuous quantitative variable. Byadi bache qualitative. Already I have explained. Qualitative hum दो की तकसीम दे. One is known as your ordinal and second is known as your nominal. उस बचे दलतो करे ordinal. If कता सुलग focus okay, what is ordinal? Sorry, what happened? हाँ, pen बराबर दो. Now गुरी बचे अवलने तासु गुरी that is ordinal. अब what is ordinal? Ordinal by the name it is clear order. आह variable चे कम के साथ सुलग order वर्कवल शवी यो तरतीब तकम गवी कना first second third no यो order पकिश्ता दे कना सही शुला वड़ू के आगे न घट बे आगे न घट सही शुला दा यो order दे no आह variable चे कम के साथ सुलग यो order वर्कवल शवी सही शुला that is simply known as your ordinal variable. लेकिन ज़िता सुता हुआ माँ दलते यो example में वर्क करते level of satisfaction. Here it is. The pen बराबर लगा चिदा pen वाली कार न कही I don't know. Let me check. चिदा pen वाली कार न कही. हाँ. I don't know why it's not working. लेकिन पेन लगी कार न कही चले बिया बियो गुरु. गुरे. That which is सासुसरा level of satisfaction. Pen is not working. I don't know why it's not working. लेकिन चले let's see. गुरा level of satisfaction. बच्चे मात्रा यो let's suppose मात्रा Samsung मोबाइल दे. ताकि यो सर्वे कोई खल्क ने बोरी चे आया खल्क Samsung ने सूरा खुशाल दी. You want to make a survey and you want to find out that how many people they are satisfied, clear, and how much satisfied from the Samsung mobile or cell phone. Now you make a question that do you satisfy from the Samsung? Up you have to make a question: highly satisfied, most satisfied, less satisfied, not satisfied. Now look at here: highly satisfied, most satisfied, less satisfied, not satisfied. All these are simply clear known as an order. So such variable where we have an order or rank is simply known as your ordinal variable. Under qualitative, the next is nominal. Look at here, nominal. By the name it is clear, nominal. Nominal is that variable which basically categorizes the whole data. मतलब यो दासी वेरिएबल चाहा सिर्फ और सिर्फ कैटेगराइज की ओवरऑल डेटा अगर तमुंगा वही नॉमिनल मतलब हम दादे चे कैटेगोरिकल लेकिन जितना तो वही मां सपोज जेंडर अब जेंडर मां सरा यो वेरिएबल दे लेकिन जेंडर के गोरी बच्चे जेंडर के मेल हम राशि और जेंडर के फीमेल हम राशि नो गोरा जेंडर सिर्फ मेल और सिर्फ फीमेल मुंगा दा खोना यू करा चे मेल आर मोर सुपीरियर देन फीमेल या फीमेल आर मोर सुपीरियर देन मेल सही छुआ मुंगा सिर्फ दा वयू चे जेंडर के मेल हम रागलन जेंडर के फीमेल हम रागलन सही छुआ सो दैट वेरिएबल व्हिच ओनली डिस्क्राइब कैटेगराइजेस the overall data into different categories is known as your nominal नोरम की देशी लका religion मजहब शो सही छुआ दिन अलावा classes BBA 4th BBA 5th BBA 6th सही छुआ नो द क्लास से द क्लास मासरा यो nominal variable थे hope inshallah the idea will be clear thank you so much this was the end of the lecture if you have any question kata se so query the question ni bilkul tasu ta post kawale shi already da sizuna bache munga descriptive statistics ki wili di rozaka ma dura detail ki explain nakal baki inferential statistics je kam terminologies inshallah am zatula fully detail ki tashriح koma dera zyada manana thank you so much